Hello guys, welcome to Everything Metallurgy and welcome to day 38 of 100 days 100 concepts. And today in this video I'm going to briefly explain you about yield criteria. Right, so basically I have already made one of the first videos of this channel 2 years back about yield criteria, but again based on some requests in the comments I also want to cover yield criteria again, okay, in this series. Right, so what is yield criteria? So basically we know what is this yielding. So what does this yield mean? So this means that the metal is undergoing some amount of plastic deformation, which we also call plastic flow of a material. Correct? So how you usually measure it? So you usually measure it with the help of a design parameter, yield stress, right, which we already saw, which we actually calculate, analyze the material using uniaxial tensile stress. Okay, so in this uniaxial tensile test we can easily say that when my stress is reaching this value of yield strength, my material will undergo yielding. That means my material will be in the region of plastic deformation. Now the main question which we are trying to solve here because of this yield criteria is, what happens if you have a triaxial state of stress, which is quite which is quite normal in our day-to-day applications. Basically we already saw, right? So when we are discussing about Mohr circle, we saw what is triaxial stress and all the stuff. But here, how to say if a material will undergo plastic deformation or not in my triaxial state of stress. So what is triaxial? So usually you have sigma x, sigma y, sigma z, and also you have shear stress values, right? So there are two important criteria which will explain you about this plastic flow in the case of triaxial, or rather you can also convert this to biaxial. So these are very famous actually. One is von Mises distortion energy criteria, and the other famous one is the Tresca maximum shear stress criteria. Okay, so basically what happens here is that you see two terms over here, right? Distortion energy and maximum shear stress. So these are the parameters which we use to explain, or the parameters which we considered as a criteria to explain the yielding phenomena in triaxial state of stress. So what is this von Mises? So basically, again, I'm not going through details of it, I'm just going to give you the value. Okay, so again, if you're interested to know in detail about each and every derivation, you can always visit our website. Okay, so already many people are already getting benefited. Okay, so do check out everythingmetallurgy.com and enroll for one of the best gate metallurgy video course, as well as we have one of the most affordable test series also. So do check out at our website, right? So here, coming to the point, von Mises has put out using the distortion energies. Again, as I said, derivations won't be covered here. So using the distortion energy, we have compared the triaxial or multi-axial loading to the distortion energy of my uniaxial tensile stress. Okay, so they they came to a conclusion that if the stress is something like this, that means, okay, so this is the minimum stress. This sigma Vm is the minimum stress that is required when you have a triaxial state of stress, where you see sigma 1, sigma 2 and sigma 3, these are nothing but the principal stresses. Okay, so if what is the criteria? So it says that when this stress using this formula is at least equal to the yield stress sigma y, at least equal to the sigma y when you are testing in uniaxial tensile test, then you can say that okay, there will be yielding that is taking place because of these combination of stresses. Okay, so how this is, how this formula came in and what is the exact criteria? It is actually comparing the distortions energies. Okay, so it is comparing the distortion energies and then came up with this formula. Okay, so basically this sigma Vm which we got over here must be greater than or equal to sigma y. Okay, this is what is the criteria. Okay, so if this formula whatever we have seen here is exceeding that is greater than the yield stress, then we can say that yielding will take place. Okay, so this is about von Mises criteria. Of course, here we used principal stresses. So similarly, you can write in terms of the applied stresses also. So this is 1 by root 2 into sigma x minus sigma y whole square plus sigma y minus sigma z whole square. Oh, sorry, it's minus. Yeah, minus sigma z whole square plus sigma z minus sigma x whole square plus 6 times sigma tau square. Okay, so due to place constraint, actually I wrote sigma, that is tau xy square plus tau yz square plus tau zx square whole power 1 by 2. Okay, so this is the formula which we got, right, using the applied stresses itself directly. We are not considering the principal stresses, rather we are using directly the applied stresses. Okay, so if you look at the stress tensor and if you ask what is the minimum values, or if you are given a stress tensor and you are asked whether on applying this particular stress tensor on a body whether yielding will take place or not, this is the way to go using the von Mises criteria. Similarly, you have something called Tresca criteria. So here in this Tresca criteria, the maximum shear stress should be equal to sigma 1 minus sigma 3 by 2, which should be equal to sigma y by 2. This is the criteria. That means, so basically if you see the Mohr circle, basically this is nothing but equating the radiuses, okay, of the multiple stresses and the uniaxial stresses. So Tresca criteria is basically telling you that, okay, fine, if you are having some multiple loads, if your maximum shear stress is exceeding some value, what is that value? The maximum shear stress when you have in uniaxial tensile stress, then you can say that the yielding will take place. So that only we wrote it. So what did we write? So maximum shear stress of the multi-axial loading, which is this, should be at least equal to the maximum shear stress in the uniaxial loading. Okay, so this is what basically we have done in Tresca criteria. Okay, so these are basically two important criteria which are used to explain whether material will yield or not. Okay, so based on this you have many questions. Of course, if you have joined the test series, you will be knowing it. There are many questions based on this, and of course if you solve any standard books you find many questions, right? So apart from this you have something called yield locus. Okay, so which are nothing but the 2D surfaces of these particular equations, right? So yeah, I hope you understood what is yield criteria and why we use them. Okay, so with this I want to end this video. Thanks for watching, guys. If you are coming for the first time, please do subscribe and also turn on the notification bell, right? So also please do like this video and share with all the metallurgy aspirants, and do check out everythingmetallurgy.com for interesting and one of the most valuable video course for metallurgy gate aspirants, right? So this is from my side. Thank you, guys. Meet you tomorrow with one more interesting concept. Thank you.